so welcome to today's video. We are doing a look with a palette that I have been sort of wanting to buy for the longest time, and I finally bit the bullet and bought it because Ulta recently did their platinum and diamond member appreciation sale where you got 10 times the points for your purchase, and that was the last little nudge for me to buy this palette. This one came out actually in the beginning of summertime, and I was very hesitant because of the tones and the color story of this palette, but I knew that the name and the formula was going to be A+, 100% all the way. I am familiar with the brand's eyeshadows. One of this brand's palettes is like my favorite, and it's got a special place in my heart. I absolutely love every single look that I do with it every single time. The quality is unlike anything else. The longevity, that's the big takeaway here. If you buy any palettes, if I can talk, palettes from this brand, the longevity of these eyeshadows, you put them on and they do not budge. And they are there until you take it off. And it's incredible. The formula is just, yes. And I'm talking about the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I am late to the Yucca party, but I am here. Better late than never, right? So I decided to play with some of the green tones on the lid, pair up with some of those kind of warm tans, orange, kind of pukey, kind of mustardy type of colors. I don't know how else to describe it. Pukey is really probably not the best description for it, but it is what it is. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's different. It's warm, like I like my warm tones, but that pop of green on the lid is just out of this world. It's dynamite, and the sparkle is so pretty, and it couldn't be easier to do. The formula is spectacular. It's easy to use and work with. I never have any issues with her formula, and so I decided that I was going to take advantage of that sale where I got 10 times the points on the purchase, and I added it to my order. I placed an order for a lot of things, pretty big order at Ulta, and this was one of those last minute items that I kind of threw in there, and I said, you know, I'm just going to do it. And boy, am I glad so far that I purchased this palette. You have seen this. I don't have to show you swatches and get up close with the lens because I'm pretty sure you've seen this. You may already own it. I am very late to this. I do know that. But we're playing with some of these colors, and I hope you'll enjoy the tutorial. I'm going to talk you through the entire eye look, and then towards the end, I will share everything else that I paired with it so you can kind of know what else I'm wearing to sort of pull everything together and complete the look. So if you want to see how I did the eyes for today, then just keep watching. Before I apply any eyeshadow, I want to let you know that I did apply my MAC Painter Lip Paint Pot, and then I did set it with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder, which is the same powder that I use to set my under eye concealer. So I just used my beauty sponge and just went all over the eye area with that so that there isn't any sort of tackiness from the paint pot where the shadow could potentially stick to and not blend well. With a BK Beauty 212 brush, I'm going to start off with the shade called Valley. It's the very center shade in the second row, which is a warm tan color with a kind of yellowy mustard base to it, which is pretty different and unique. I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to start applying this to my crease. Just kind of following the natural shape of my crease, windshield wiper motions back and forth, and that color is definitely very, very pigmented. Whoa. Then with a clean brush, I'm going to go around the edges of that color and just continue to blend to have a more seamless sort of fade from that color up towards my brow bone. I'm going to take that same color on a smaller brush that's more densely packed for detail work, and I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line. And I'm not being too careful and precise with this color because I am going to blend this out with a different shade, but I just want to get the placement down first. Then with a small pencil style brush that's really great for detail work, this is a Profusion brush, I'm going to take the color called Ixia. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's this sort of orangey shade here to blend out the under eye area. Well, that is super pigmented. Holy smokes. And I am going to go pretty thick with this color on the lower lashes. With Rephr 15 crease brush, I'm going to add some more of the Valley shade and layer this up just a bit more right on this outer part here. So I want to add a little bit of some depth to the under eye area and really kind of smoke this out a bit more. I'm going to use a flat shader brush, and I'm going to choose the darkest brown shade in this palette, which is this shade here called Flax. This kind of comes off a bit cool in tone. Again, another of her matte formula. And I'm going to use that flat shader brush to really pack this on really close to the root of my lower lashes. And I'm just going to wiggle that brush, place it, and kind of gently wiggle it so I can get that right into the root of my lashes. And then I'm going to go back into that first brush that I used for the color with nothing on there, so that detail brush, and just soften this out. And it's going to add some more depth, as you can see the difference. And I like how that coolness in that flax plays with those kind of warm tan orangey shades that I applied first. I think it looks really pretty. And underneath this dark color, you see that sort of like fade into the orange in that tan shade, which I think adds a nice sort of smokiness, and it definitely thickens that lower lash line a bit, but I personally like that, and I think it looks really pretty. And so far, everything has been applying well and blending perfectly. So now I get to add something fun on the lids. And there are a few different options that you can use in this palette if you have it to add some sparkle. There's lots of them in this palette, and there's some that are more green. This one here that's a little bit more kind of like a gunmetal gray color. This one here called Plantasia is really pretty as well. And then you have this one that has like your definite greens, and like this one that's more like an olive. The Plantasia one, it's on my thumb here, it feels really soft in the pan. So that one might kind of crumble a little bit if you're too heavy-handed with your brush. It is very soft, but look at the pigment on those. Oh my gosh, what do I want to do? And for this, I'm going to use my reference number 2 brush, which is just a typical eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to pat this on all over my lid from inner corner and slightly overlap that valley shade that I have in my outer V area. So I think I'm going to go in with my finger and pick up just a little bit. It's a very soft color, so you don't really need a whole lot. And I'm going to press that right on top. And you're going to see this color come alive. Do you see a difference? How much more green you can see, like the depth of the green when you tap with your finger versus applying it with a brush. Both equally beautiful, but I think I like this side better. Okay, so I think I want to add just a little bit of flax, which is that dark brown on the outer corner, just a little bit. And just sort of build that up a little bit more, because I kind of wanted a little bit more smoky today. You know, why not? We're already here, right? Making sure it connects to my lower lash line. Then what I want to do is take that same crease brush from earlier and the same valley shade, which is that warm brown, and go right over the edge just to kind of create a border right around that dark flax color. I actually really like the way this is looking right now. And I think I'm just going to stop here because I'm happy with the amount of green, the sparkle, the depth on the outer corner. It's not super intense and heavy. The lower lashes is nicely pigmented and dark as well to kind of balance the upper lid area. So all that's left to do is some eyeliner and mascara to pull this whole look together. So I'm going to start with the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal in Cocoa. It's one of my very favorite eyeliners in a chocolatey brown. I feel like will play really nicely with this, but I also have been really liking the NYX liquid liner in brown, which I've been wearing the last few days. So I'm going to go in with the pencil and see how I like that, because this pencil from Victoria Beckham is quite pigmented and very rich looking on the eyes. So I may not even need to go in with a liquid liner. Then I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Mascara. And here is the full face completed. It makes such a difference having blush, bronzer, and the lip for the day. it sort of pulls the whole thing together and it looks better. So now you can really see those tones play up with the blush and bronzer and the lip choice for today. And I really, really like this. I normally don't wear greens. I think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I don't normally go for greens when I'm thinking about some type of color to incorporate into my eye look. I am very basics, neutrals. That is something that to me isn't boring. And it's always fun to kind of get out of my comfort zone, step out of my little box of neutrals and everyday basics and do something fun. And that's exactly what I did today. So I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I know I'm late to the yucca party because this has been out for such a long time, but better late than never, right? So I am excited to continue playing with this. I just love how these tones sort of look with the brown eyes. I think that there's something that just sort of, it's probably that sort of sparkly shimmer glitter effect that green has that is really just making the eyes shine, and I do really enjoy the way that looks. So I'm excited to continue playing with this and creating more looks. So for the rest of the face, I will talk you through what I'm wearing. Everything will be listed for you down below in the description box as well. But for foundation, I mixed my NARS Advanced Light Reflecting Foundation with the Soft Matte Foundation, also by NARS. So the two together is a really, really nice combination. My concealer is the Natasha Denona High Glam in P1. I use my typical setting powder, which is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder, to set my concealer and my eyeshadow primer. And for blush, I'm using one from Persona. This is the Super Blush in Terracotta. And I chose this blush because for me, there's something kind of earthy about this color. It's kind of, not kind of, it is warm, and I feel like it really pairs nicely with the warm tones of this palette. And again, it just pulls in more of that earthy vibe to the cheeks that really kind of tie in with the eye look. So I thought this was a really great pairing. That glow that you're seeing on my cheeks is actually from my highlighter, which is the highlighter from Charlotte Tilbury, the Hollywood Glow Glide Face Architect Highlight in the Champagne Glow color. I also did add some of that to my inner corner and brow bone off camera, and I just took a small little detail brush to kind of finish off that last little finishing touch for the eyes. Lips, I had a little bit of the NYX Fat Oil and the shade called Supermodel, which is a nice bright pink, so I did pat some of that off. I wanted some hydration, so I just chose that because it was already on my desk. And I took some of that off, lined with the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut lip pencil. And then I mixed two different shades. This is a lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury in the B Perfect. I don't know why it's B for a bad word, perfect. But it's supposed to be a nude. Her colors tend to pull very warm on me, so it kind of looks a little more like a peachy nude. And then to lighten that just a little bit, I took my favorite nude from the Sephora collection and just kind of dab this on. The name is not anywhere on this. I feel like Sephora should improve that by putting the name of the product on the actual product. But I will have it listed for you below and the color because I think this is the perfect nude to pair with any lip color. It just looks so pretty and adds a little bit more of that shine and that gloss that you're seeing on the lips because the lipstick from Charlotte is, it's kind of like a satiny finish. It's not quite matte, but it's not super glossy. Really nice finish, these lipsticks from Charlotte. So that is the lip combo for today, and everything else I'm wearing, like I said before, check the description box. It's going to be listed for you there. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be on the lookout for more looks with this in the future. I have several Natasha Denona palettes, including the newest one that came out, the I Need a Nude palette. I bought that when it was a early access for Rouge, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you on that. So be on the lookout for that video. Subscribe so you don't miss out. You can follow me on Instagram. We can be friends. We can chat and just have fun on Instagram together. So it'll be on the screen here, and I hope to see you there. Take care, you guys, and we'll talk very soon. Bye-bye.